Well, last night was WWE King and Queen of the Ring, and I watched it for what it was, which I didn't do for Backlash. For Backlash, I was too focused on Uncle Howdy. When's Uncle Howdy going to show up, bro? But I didn't do that for this show, and thankfully, I fucking did not, because we got no Uncle Howdy reveal. And I'll get to that at the end of the video, because I know most of you really aren't interested in that, but I'm interested in that. Some people are, so I'll save that for the end of the video, for the people who don't care. But the show overall, man, I liked it. I liked the show, and it's not often I can come on here and say I liked a WWE PLE, because yes, I prefer WWE over AEW, but that doesn't mean WWE avoided criticism, and they will be getting a little bit of criticism here today. But overall, man, I enjoyed the show. The matches I did watch, because a couple of the matches I did skip. I enjoyed it. Great matches, and it was a great show. We got all the right results for the matches I did watch, and yeah, man, let's get into this fucking show. So the show started, and did Jade and Bianca happen on the pre-show? Because that match was announced, but I never saw it. I'm assuming it happened on the pre-show. The first match was Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch, and I've got to be honest, I can't stand either of these women. Liv looks laughable. Okay, she's very small and annoying. That's how I feel about Liv. She is WWE's version of Riho. That is the way I see her. Some people aren't going to like that opinion, but that's my opinion. Becky Lynch, any time she opens her fucking mouth, man, my ears bleed. Okay, it's not the accent. I think it's just her voice mixed with the accent, man. I can't stand it. Can't stand it, but this is one of the matches I did skip until the finish. I watched, I think, the last 2 minutes of the match and then the finish. So Becky had Liv in the disarmer, and Dom came out to help Becky. He was genuinely out there to help Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch did not need any help, okay? It's not like Becky was in a situation where Dom needed to come out and help her. Dom did not need to be there. Dom's interference didn't make any fucking sense. If he was genuinely there to stop Liv from winning, his interference made no sense. No sense at all, and that's what I was thinking when I was watching this, man. I was thinking, this can't be right. Becky didn't need it. What's going on? But Becky gets distracted by Dom. Dom then throws a chair into the ring to Becky. Dom then distracts the referee so Becky can hit Liv with the chair. Liv capitalizes, hits Becky with the chair, gives her a DDT on the chair, I believe. And Liv Morgan is your new Women's World Heavyweight Champion. Heavyweight. I don't know, man. I know there's some Liv Morgan fans out there, and cool, good for you, right? But this shit ain't for me, man. Watch me. No, I don't want to watch you. Go to NXT. Fuck off. But I can't give an opinion on the match because, again, I skipped most of it. I didn't care. I can't stand either of these fucking women. Next, a match I did watch, and a match I really enjoyed. The triple threat, Chad Gable versus Big Bronson Reed versus the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. And holy shit, man, these guys went out there and tore the fucking roof off the fucking place. This was amazing. Okay, you got some great spots in this match. Bronson Reed doing a fucking moonsault, which I did not expect. Bronson Reed doing suicide dives, which I did not expect. Now, the suicide dives are overdone a bit, but they did make it look like that Sammy and Chad weren't just standing there waiting to catch him. So I'll give him a thumbs up on that. Excuse me. And they did a spot where Obviously, they make it look like Chad Gable is giving a German suplex to both men. Obviously, we know how they did that. Chad suplexes Bronson suplexes Sammy, but obviously they make it look like Chad does all the work, which he did not, but we will ignore that. And overall, man, this triple threat was amazing. We'll get to the finish in a minute, but I just want to say triple threats over the years have been somewhat bad because of the one guy rolls out the ring for 10 minutes while two people get their shit in. That guy comes back, another person leaves the ring for 10 minutes, and they just can't get around that. But recently they've been managing to get around that, and it looked like all three guys just wanted to win. They want to win the match, and some people are saying, why is Bronson Reed in this match? Where's the story? The story is Bronson Reed is sick of being overlooked. Bronson Reed is tired of being pushed around, and Bronson Reed wants to prove himself. Bronson Reed wants the Intercontinental Championship. Bronson Reed does not give a fuck about Sami Zayn and Chad Gable and their little disagreements and their arguments and whatnot. Bronson Reed inserts himself in there. Bronson Reed wants that championship. That's why Bronson Reed's in this match. He's in it for the gold. That isn't hard to work out. But it's a good thing Bronson Reed was in this match because he put some fucking work in, man. He was ready to impress. I bet he thought, I've not been on a fucking PLE for quite some time, which he hasn't, and I need to impress. And that's what he did. So hopefully Bronson Reed gets a bit more of a push in the future, but we'll get to the finish. It was time for Otis to get involved. Chad wanted Otis to attack Sami Zayn. Otis couldn't do it. Eventually, after Chad slapped him up a bit, Otis was ready to do it. Go for a clothesline. Sami ducks and he clotheslined Chad instead. Sami gets Bronson in the ring. Haluva kick. 1, 2, 3. Sami retains, which is the right decision. Sami shouldn't be losing it. As much as I want Chad Gable to win it, to be the next man to hold it, Sami shouldn't be losing it yet, because at the end of the day, he just ended the longest reign of all time. So, making him a transitional champion wouldn't be a good look. You know what I mean? So, good match, great match, and for me, it was probably match of the night. I thought Gunther versus Randy Orton would be match of the night, but there were a few little hiccups in there we'll talk about. But next up, and I need to have a drink. Next up, Queen of the Ring finals. I'm assuming you know what I did when this match was on. Yeah, so I didn't watch this match. I didn't watch it. Nia won. Cool. I might be a bit of a controversial statement here, but I feel like if The Rock wasn't on the TKO board of directors, Nia Jax wouldn't have won this match or even made it to the finals. That's all I'm saying. We can see The Rock's influence. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Nia, right? She is doing a lot better than what she did, but in the Triple H era, I don't see Nia Jax winning this match or even being in the finals if The Rock wasn't on the TKO board of directors. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to fucking say, man. King of the Ring. No, I definitely watched this because this is a match I was looking forward to for quite some time. Gunther versus Randy Orton. And if you follow all the backstage stuff like you do, if you're watching this channel, you definitely follow all the backstage stuff. For me, this was the former prodigy of Triple H versus the current prodigy of Triple H. Now, when you look at it like that, man, that gets you a little bit more invested into this match. Even though the match itself is going to get you invested because it's a first time ever. It's Gunther, who's a hard-hitting man's man wrestler, versus Randy Orton, who's a fucking legend, right? So, obviously, this match went the way we expected it to. A lot of chops, a lot of lariats, a lot of Gunther stuff, a lot of Randy Orton stuff. Now, I'll be honest, I can't remember much from this match apart from the finish, because at the end of the day, I don't have notes, I don't write notes, I don't do a play-by-play thing like other people do, because I feel like that's a disingenuous review. I mean, you're not clicking on this video for me to sit here and list every single fucking move that happened, and I'm not watching shows to write down every single fucking move that happens, because then I can't enjoy the show. But from what I remember, it was a good match. Not as good as I was expecting it to be, but it did its job. And the finish, they fucked up a little bit. So let me try and remember what happened. Something happened, and then Randy went to pin Gunther. I think it was an RKO. Randy went to pin Gunther. Gunther kicked out. Randy sat up and hurt his knee. The story of the match itself was Randy Orton has hurt his knee, and the knee was a focal point of the match. Excuse me. And then, as Randy was wincing with his knee, Gunther rolls him up, and 1, 2, 3. But Randy Orton's shoulder was not on the mat, which means it technically wasn't a legal pinfall. Now, I'm seeing a lot of accounts making excuses, saying this was supposed to happen. Nah, I don't think it was. They didn't. They tried to hide it in the replays, and I think this was just a botch, a mishap, because they interviewed Triple H not long after to talk about it, because they needed to talk about it at the end of the day. Triple H says that after watching the replays, yes, he sees Randy Orton's shoulder was not touching the mat, but Randy's not really in a physical state to face Gunther again right now. I'm sure they'll probably want to go at it again at some point, but now's not the time. And then I believe we got some confirmation for Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is facing Damian Priest at Clash at the Castle for the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H said that Drew's now cleared. Damian offered Drew a championship match. It's now confirmed. Clash at the Castle in June. Drew versus Priest. Now, I don't think they're going to have Drew lose the big one for a second time over in the UK over here. So it looks like Priest's reign's ending next month. But what does that mean for Gunther? Because Gunther's going to win the World Heavyweight... Oh, not win the World Heavyweight Championship. Face the World Heavyweight Champion at SummerSlam. I mean... Gunther versus Priest. I ain't really interested in that. Gunther versus Drew, which is a heel versus heel match. I mean, we got that last year. Obviously, it wasn't heel versus heel, but we got that last year, man. I've seen enough of go. Drew versus Gunther. And, yeah, so I think they're in a little bit of a predicament here. To be honest, I ain't gonna lie. And finally, we get to the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. Now, it did take me a little bit to get into this match, I'm going to be honest, because I was getting quite tired at this point. I wasn't feeling it. But eventually, I did get into the match. Quite a lot of stuff happened. Logan Paul got some brass knucks from someone in the crowd, hit Cody in the stomach, and then they did a spot where Logan grabbed the bottle of Prime. Cody was laying on the announce table. Logan went to the top man, and you saw this fucking camera work, man. Whoever's working these cameras, whoever replaced Kevin Dunn, man, give him a raise. Give them a fucking raise, because you had the round shot, the whole shot of Logan on that top turnbuckle with his bottle of Prime. He drinks it, he spits it in the air like Triple H, and boom, frog splash onto the table, onto Cody. And it was a great moment, I ain't gonna lie. I popped. But the finish of this match is something I'm not necessarily happy with, because they had this special ring announcer. Can't remember his name, he's from Saudi. And you just think, okay, cool, right. First of all, his announcing, man, he did not put any fucking effort into those announcements. None at all. I'd have preferred the what's her name, Alicia Taylor, the worst of them all, the worst ring announcer I've ever fucking heard. I'd have preferred her over this guy, man. This ring announcer was bad. There was no emphasis. There was no oomph in his voice. He was just getting it out of the way. It's like it was just a little appearance, does what he needs to do, and then fucks off, right? That's what it felt like. It felt like he did not care. So, at the end of this match, Logan Paul's got the brass knuckles. Can't remember what happened to the referee, but someone grabs Logan's legs out of camera view, and it's the fucking ring announcer. The ring announcer is the one that's stopping Logan Paul from using the brass knuckles, right? And then boom, Cody capitalizes, 3 crossroads, Cody wins. And I'm thinking to myself, man, why did they need to include this ring announcer? I feel like it was incredibly unnecessary to include this ring announcer in this match at all. I mean, his announcing was terrible, and why did he need to play a finish? Why did he need to play into the finish of the match? He didn't need to, right? They could have had someone else come out to help Cody with that. Kevin Owens was there. Kevin Owens has beef with Logan Paul. They could have done something like that. They could have done whoever wanted to be the next challenger for Logan Paul's US title. But no, they went with this random Saudi fucking guy who they put in as a special guest ring announcer who put no effort into the fucking announcing. But overall, this match, apart from the fucking finish, was good, did what it needed to do, solidified Logan Paul as a main event guy. That's weird, man. Logan Paul, main events of fucking WWE PLEs. What world are we living in, man? But Logan Paul continues to impress. At the end of the day, it's no surprise at this point. Logan Paul always seems to put on a banger match. And it was with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, most of the time, always puts on a banger match. Unless I'm distracted by the orange on him. I wasn't distracted by the orange on him this time. But at Backlash, man, you could see them patches of orange. And I just could not stop looking at them. It was very distracting. He needs to stop using spray tan. But overall, good match. And I'm sat there. The match is over. And obviously, like last time, I'm waiting. But I'm not too hyped up about it this time. I'm just waiting to see if something happens with Howdy. And nothing happened with Howdy. There was a QR code which told me that nothing was going to happen when we got that QR code somewhere in the middle of the show. And it was Howdy breaking into someone's house. Obviously, you don't see Howdy do it. You see a figure, but it's clearly Howdy. And he's broken into someone's house. This person has seems to be a Scottish accent, right, or something. And a lot of people think the house he broke into belonged to Big Damo, also known as Killian Dane, who was Insanity in NXT with Nikki Cross, Eric Young, and Alexander Wolf. And yeah, that's a pretty high possibility, I ain't gonna lie. Whoever's house it was playing 2K24, and he says, I love this game, and then he notices some noises, so he turns around. I think he's looking out the window, but you don't really see him. And then through the reflection of the window, you can see someone standing behind him, big trench coat. The trench coat, you think, Howdy, right? And then boom, turns around, and then the signal cuts. So, man, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the horror stuff, right? But I don't know what the end game is. When is the reveal? Apparently the reveal is on fucking Raw. The Raw after Clash at the Castle. That's going to be where the reveal is, apparently. And I don't know if that's true. I I'm at the point where I feel like there's going to be no reveal. They're just going to continue this QR code stuff for the rest of the year. And yeah, I don't know, man. But they need to pull something off soon. They need to reveal something soon, because I am going to lose interest if they don't do something soon. Something drastic. Something that's going to keep me on my toes. Something that's going to keep me interested without the QR codes. But let me know what you thought of King and Queen of the Ring. I will give this show, man, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10, that's what I'll give it. It was pretty good. Not perfect, but an 8 out of 10 I think is fair. Like, subscribe, follow me on X at the Crossman25. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.